Hello everyone, this is Charlotte. This is another podcast called Chatting and Doing Stuff. I managed to score the day off, so I'm pretty chuffed, but I will be working nonetheless. So this is one of my things to do on my errands to get stuff done to work to the other stuff. So it's again multi-layering. It's a podcast where I talk about random topics, some of which are sensitive. So of course, if you don't want to hear it, or if you hear something you don't like, I'll tell you what I tell my kids at work. If you hear someone, turn it off. If you don't like what they're doing, just turn it off. Apparently if you ignore it, it goes away. It's like, no. But you know, we deal with reality in different ways. The topic for today, sensitive content and swearing. If you don't want to hear anything like that, I swear profusely. I know that because I use it as a stress relief and it helps my brain work. So I'm gonna be swearing. If you don't like it, turn it off. I'm not your mum. I'm not gonna parent you. The topic for today is chasing people, which can come in many forms. Basically, I'm just having a chat while I drive to my next thing, so it's a very general statement comment about what this topic is. If you grew up in a people-pleasing family, like if you grew up in an abusive family, you tend to either try to mediate circumstances as best you can, and that comes through like people pleasing and trying to keep everyone happy so it doesn't kick off and go fucking nuts, or you'll go the other way where you just don't want anything to do with anyone. Both of which have their merits. Both of which lean towards certain kinds of attachment issues. The chasing people is part of the anxious attachment, whereas the just avoiding everyone is part of the obviously avoidant attachment issues. And you can switch between the two and somehow find a medium if you need to. Not that you should, I don't know. But growing up, I had anxious attachment because basically my childhood and the way my parents decided to raise me, or whatever you would call it, was based on service and giving what I could and keeping everyone happy and make sure you do the right thing, because otherwise you get your shit kicked out of you or you get psychologically, emotionally abused. Something about boomer parenting that needs to be studied. But that did create a problem when I got older, because then it fed into a relationship I had with my ex-husband, which led to people pleasing him and letting shit slide just to keep the peace. And I was naturally I want to say mediator, but I just want to I was naturally a person that would let anything slide. I was a doormat, basically. I was a doormat. I would admit that. Whereas I just wanted everything to work. So I would let damn near anything slide. Damn near, but not everything. Slide, just to make sure that he was happy and there wasn't a problem. And I didn't want him to leave. And if I did something, I was afraid of doing something that would make him leave. Because I loved him. I thought I loved him. It could have been love. It could have been anxious attachment. We don't know. Obvious abandonment issues, which my parents were the precursor to, because they created scenarios in which it was a trauma bond in which, you know, if you don't do what I want you to do, I'm going to hurt you. So love in that regard was doing what they need or giving them whatever they want just to make them stay. You had to keep them happy and pleased, and that way they would stay and you wouldn't be alone, this sort of thing. It's a fear of being alone, essentially, as well. I grew up in a big family, 4 kids, 2 adults. I was never alone. I felt alone. There was always a sense of maybe loneliness. I did feel a lot like I was on my own. But physically, I was never alone. So I was used to the grouping of people around me. Small house, what was it like? I think 4-bedroom house and 6 people in it. So I was always, you know, in close confines with one of my siblings. I think I shared a bedroom with my little sister till I was about 15 or something like that. It was just 2 single beds in one room. It was a fucking nightmare. No space, both teenagers, both like at each other. So not helped by the circumstances in which my parents were berserkers. So, you know, it was a high tension environment. And you had to find ways to mediate the situation, to keep the peace, to keep it quiet. Because if you and your sibling kicked off, your parents would jump in and it'd be a fuck fight. So circumstances like that lend themselves to anxious attachment, where you just want to keep the peace and you don't like conflict and you want to avoid chaos and all this shit, which is why I'm like I am today. It took forever to build up boundaries and to respect myself. Forever. Like, even up till 33. 33 is when I left my ex-husband because he gave that stupid fucking ultimatum about wanting an open marriage, and I told him to fuck off. That was my line. I'm like, I've put up with you for 16 years, this is my fucking line. I'm like, no, infidelity is never okay, even when it's advocated for. No. You don't get away with that one, shithead. I put up with enough of your shit and glossed it over. No. So, you know, that was my line, because it was against core morals and ethics. It wasn't just a case of, oh, someone hurt my feelings, a case of, this is what I am. I don't believe that anyone should be fucking cheating on people with consent or not. But if it's with consent, it's not cheating. It's like, it's still emotionally damaging. It's still psychologically damaging. And you seem to not give a fuck enough about me to be able to not only propose it, but to corner me and give me an ultimatum about it. So obviously you don't fucking love me. And there's always evidence. So I bounced out of there. I'm like, fuck this guy. He's balding and dumb anyway. It's like, I'm not staying to see what this goes. It's like, you didn't have anything to offer. So I was basically balancing the entire relationship on my anxious attachment to him. You know, in the end, in hindsight, you look back and you go, well, really didn't actually offer anything. He was always either in and out of work or unemployed, and he's undereducated, and while he was nice at times, it wasn't all the time, and he wasn't exactly supportive. He was critical a lot, and you're like, why the fuck am I keeping this asshole around? And then suddenly, oh, we need to have an open marriage, and I'm like, oh, fuck no. So that kind of broke any devil card or any prison of the mind that I had with regards to who this man was, because I had put him on a platform, a pedestal, as to who I thought he was, because I'd had him from 17 and I'd sort of romanticized who this guy was. I'm like, he's a wonderful guy, he's gorgeous, I love him, and oh, I'd do anything for him, I'd live and die for him, and you know, sort of thing. But dealing with the reality of the situation of who this personality was, he was pretty much a piece of shit who had nothing to offer and didn't mind hurting me to get what he wanted. So a fuckboy. We see a lot of fuckboys these days, political fuckboys especially, sending people off to do painful situations in order to be right or to be perceived as right. It's like, no, we're not doing that. So, anxious attachment I had. At 33, I started building up the courage and the balls to start questioning what was going on and was it good for me. Because before that, I was a follower and I just went with everything. Within the first... When you get divorced in Australia, you separate for a year and then you can actually file divorce papers. So in that first year, I was willing to go back to him. If he would just, you know, come back and say, oh, I didn't mean it, or all this, you know, all the drama shit. I was willing. I was still anxious in that first year of separation to go back to him. I'm like, maybe he's just made a mistake. Maybe, you know, he'll be out of his system and stuff. And it was absolutely destroying me that year, because that was when I had a complete nut job meltdown near enough. Couldn't sleep, got diagnosed with depression, had to go to a psych, all this extra stuff. And in the same year, I was also homeless and in debt, 10 grand and all this clusterfuck of bullshit. And he didn't seem to give a fuck because he ghosted. So it's like, right, so you've inflicted this damage. I am homeless because of you, because of your shit life decisions, right? I'm in debt because I had to renovate the apartment you trashed so we could sell it, just so I could get my freedom for. So all these things snowball, and the effect they have on your anxious attachment is they tend to go the other way. You're like, you know what, this guy's a prick, and I tried to isolate it to just this guy, but the guy that came after him as a boyfriend but never put labels on it, bullshit. Worse, if not just the same, but worse, you know? At least my ex-husband, who didn't believe in marriage and monogamy afterwards, apparently, after getting married and shit, was up front and tried to make it work, whereas this one just didn't want to even try. He just wanted the benefits of whatever it was. So I didn't bother forming any kind of anxious attachment to you. I was upset at the start when I started seeing red flags and things. I'm going, well, I thought this guy was someone else, because I had this candle for him for like 16 years. I'm like, he was always the what if guy. What if I'd actually gone with him instead, and what would have happened? All the whims of a 20-year-old girl, right? Instead, I had gone with my ex-husband and married him and done the whole picket fence, trad wife shit. Also fucked up. Don't do it. Don't do it, because it leaves you in debt. It wasn't exactly trad wife, because I was earning the main bulk of the money whilst also doing the home stuff and wiping his ass. So it wasn't even trad wife. It was some fucked up shit where I do everything and he benefits. Something he may have realized after I fucked off. He's like, you don't realize how much I do. You do. So anyway, the ex-boyfriend, also fucking trash, tried to pull the same shit, but he didn't want to put labels on it and anything. So that sent my antenna into a buzz. I'm going, this doesn't feel right. My intuition kicked in. And I kept seeing signs and flags, and I would have dreams, and I'm sitting there going, this, something in my body or my psyche, my intuition, or maybe my cognizance is sitting there saying, this guy isn't right for me. Something is going on in the background. You're fucking not telling me, and I could feel it. I can fucking feel it, and it became so apparent and stuff, and I'd bring it up and he'd get defensive, and then I'd find physical evidence of it. I'm like, you fucker, you fucking fucker. Fucking hate you. And he would deny it, and I was sitting there physically holding the fucking evidence of him cheating. He's like, oh, I don't know where it came from. So, your fucking couch. You lived alone before I met you. Where the fuck did this come from? He's like, he's lying. Oh, fucking Darvo effect, right? Asshole. You think I'm stupid enough not to see this shit? It's like, girls are dumb. It's like, no, you're dumb for trying. Fuck it. But that's the thing. I didn't have anxious attachment at that point. I got upset and offended because he kept doing dumb shit and assuming I was an idiot. But the more I saw, the less I got attached, the less I respected him, the less I liked him. At one point, I told him I loved him, and he laughed. And I'm like, that's a fucking red flag. He acted like it was a fucking game. It's like, he never actually told me he loved me. So I'm like, we were on and off 2.5 years. Broke up 6 times. The 6th being the final, of course. And it was just a fuck up game for him. So it was hard to get attached to someone who's that much of a prick. You couldn't get emotionally attached to this guy, and then he kept complaining how he was the victim, no one wanted to stay, and everybody used him. I'm going, you're full of shit. You're the one using people. You're the one inflicting damage on people. You don't get attached to people yourself, so how the fuck are they going to get attached to you? It's like there's a whole clusterfuck of him being painted as the victim. It's like, I gotta be the victim in these circumstances when I treat people like shit and use them and all this extra stuff. And if you've watched my podcast, you'll know coercive rape, cheating, lying, all that other shit. And you're like, I list these things and I bring them up for discussion, hoping that you can either counteract them or at least own up to them. And he kept deflecting or ignoring, or, you know, it's a clusterfuck. And this guy is just not relationship material. He's a fucking idiot. So I finally lose that asshole, but at the same time, it's like I was not emotionally attached to him as much as I should have been over the span of that time, because it was constant batting down. Every time I try and make a connection or intimacy, and he was what is he, avoidant. He's a toxic avoidant, but an avoidant. So he would just react. Every time I tried to be caring towards him, he'd be like, fuck that. I don't know how much damage that one has had, or who he's interacted with, or what he's normalized, because he'd had no problem fucking cheating. Had no consideration for what he would have done to whoever he was with psychologically, but technically we were never together because he didn't like labels. So it's like he's clearly cut himself emotionally off from the whole process of relationship. Probably shouldn't be with anyone because he's damaging them, whoever he fucking touches. And the future ones who come after me, if anyone comes after me, will see that, hopefully, if they're not too fucking stupid. But, you know, it was hard to get attached to him. So at this point, I turned against the idea of finding someone. The one that I liked after that, and this is a guy who I didn't know had a girlfriend at the time, or even was, you know, living with his baby mama, the yoga guy. I again put him on a pedestal, and I fucking shouldn't have. I romanticized the situation. Why are you on the wrong side of the road? Yeah, no. Anyway, that gives us more time. I don't know why this guy just went on the wrong side of the road and stopped us. Oversized load ahead. Anyway, the way they drive in Australia. So anyway, this guy I romanticized, and I'm sitting there going, and it was only with the interactions I had with him that I realized that this is not a guy. So it's hard to get attached to people who act these ways, and you can observe their behaviors and determine whether you should be attached to them or not, and you start evaluating what kind of relationships you would have with these people, essentially, which is probably the best way to look at things. Is like, not everybody deserves a connection. That's the thing. In the group I was with my ex-boyfriend, when I was trying to make friends and stuff like that, I'd been out of the social scene for quite a while because I was married, but like with the same guy for 16 years. So I'm like, this is all new to me. I'm going to try and make friends. And I was trying the traditional methods of being nice to people, and hopefully they'd reciprocate. The reality was, they don't. Or this particular group didn't. I was perceived to be a threat despite being 15 to 20 years older than them. And it completely fucking backfired, which is why I say try and find people your own age. What the fuck was the point of that guy? Oversized escort. Yeah, go on then, dude. What the fuck? Anyway, that backfired because I do think it wasn't part of my age group. On top of that, those particular type of people have obviously lived in a particular, I mean, they were Gen Z. So we're at different mindsets. It's a different type of, just a different type of ethos running through the two different types. I'm millennial, so it was hard to make connections with those kind of kids. And they're in the age group where they just want to drink and fuck and be dumb. And they think they've got so much time on their hands, even though economically they're fucked. More than the millennials will ever be fucked. I don't think they understand that, but, you know, they just want to live in the moment and touch each other's bits. So that was fun. What I didn't understand was the yoga guy who's of the millennial generation age, still trying to fit in with these Gen Z who are, you know, wasting their fucking life and youth, apparently. I didn't understand that. So it was hard to make a connection with any of those. So again, I was avoidant towards the end of it. When I started seeing the red flags of these connections, relationships, I thought, I have nothing in common with these people. They're not particularly nice people, and they don't have anything to offer would build a connection or any kind of intimacy into a friendship. So I backed off. When I left my ex-boyfriend, I ditched him because he was abusive, and I just fucking, I ghosted him in the end because I had to, because he was, you know, sexually abusive and all that stuff. I also blocked a bunch of these 20-year-olds because I knew they were stalking my profile, dude. They kept coming up in the friend suggestion section. The friend suggestion section of Instagram and Facebook are only people who have looked at your profile. So I'm like, why are you fuckers watching my profile? Because this is fucking weird. Is he gonna be able to get through there? You going over the island, are you? Anyway, you might be able to see him. Oh, you won't be able to see him. It's a great big cylinder. Ooh. Oh, there's two. Can you see them? You can't see them. Oh, big lorries. I just found that weird and creepy. So I'm like, clearly these are people who have nothing better to do. A couple in particular, I'm pretty sure were checking my profile to compare notes. I know my ex-boyfriend is a high risk. He would have been stalking my profile because, you know, he's one of these petty fuckers who's like, I want to make sure that she's not doing better than me. I'm going, you are that insecure that you think I wouldn't do better than you. It's like, I don't need you, dickhead. You're a bird. It's like, I don't need you. It's like, she can't be doing better than me without me. I'm going, I was doing better without you before. So why would this be any different? You are not the prize. You know, they have this weird assumption that they are, you know, the be all end all. Just because I had a candle for you for like 16 years that you personally snubbed out does not mean that I would chase you now. Going, you fucked that one up. You showed your cards, you showed your face behind your mask, and you showed me who the fuck you were. Any pedestal I put you on crumbled. Same with the yoga guys. Like, I actually interacted with you. I saw how you treated people. I'm going, and then you fucking ghosted. And so that was another thing. I sent a little message on his, what is it? Messenger. I was wondering, because obviously what I sent the first time would have pissed him off, upset him, bruised his ego. Facts, absolutely spitting facts, but still would have pissed him off because, you know, fragile masculinity, and they always think they're right, and I'm like, you fucking idiots. What you do in text is the episode. I sent him that. I thought it was ballsy at the time. I'm going, I probably shouldn't send this. Fuck it, I'm going to anyway. But he ghosted completely. I also ranted on about how he had stayed friends with my ex who had raped me and all this shit, and how he had near enough condoned it because he was like, I don't judge. And I'm like, you fucking should. Which is feeding into the whole misogyny shit. It was like, this group was fucking toxic as shit. And if they stay together, most of them are going to end up in prison for rape or sexual assault or something. I swear to fuck. But, you know, I'd sent him this, I put him on this pedestal, but actually watching his reaction to what I actually put out there. First of all, when he claims that he likes to go toe to toe with a strong woman, it's a fucking lie, because the first thing he did was bolt. He bolted. He can't handle an argument. He can't handle disagreement. He just straight up ghosts. I'm like, you are a liar and a coward. And this guy's like ex-military. You are trained to kill. This is a 6'1" guy's built like a fucking fridge. You could kill people if you wanted to, and still you piss, fart, and bolt from a 5'4" woman who told you no and told you to fuck off. Weak. Fucking weak. And it's like, you're scared of shit. It's like, you're scared of shit you shouldn't fucking be scared of. That's annoying to me, because I'm like, if him and I got into a fucking fight, I know I would lose, and I'm not joking about that. I know I would get fucked up. But the fact that even words scare you, hurt you, what happened to sticks and stones, dude? It's like, and yet you'll take the side of my ex-boyfriend who raped me and shit. I'm going, you are just the worst fucking version of masculinity at this point. Not only do you condone and cover for this asshole, you run away and hide from a girl who's smaller and physically weaker than you because she said something you didn't want to fucking hear. You fucking... Who has the uterus in this equation? I mean, who needs a tampon, bitch? It's like, the fuck? And this is... It was hard to get attached to this one as well, because as soon as I saw that, I'm going, well, this is not the man for me. This is not the man for me. There's certain other red flagging scenario aspects. There's a whole bunch of other shit where I'm sitting there going, well, I could still navigate these red flags. I bet I could find a means in between. But then I actually saw the behaviors and the traits and the personality of the person behind, you know, this facade I had created of him, because I'd only spent maybe 3 minutes with this guy, talked to him maybe 3-4 times. He seemed nice. I put him on a pedestal. I thought highly of him because I'm like, this guy's running his own business. He's not dumb and loud like the other ones. He's you know, what do they call him? Tall, dark, and handsome, or strong and silent type. You know, he's one of these ones. I'm going, he's my type. And then you actually watch how he interacts with not only people but women, and I'm going, well, this is not my guy. No. So it was hard to get after, you know, texting, what you do in texting and the ranting about how he's dumb fuck. I'm going, clearly this is not my guy. He has no balls. I'm going, if we were in a fight, would you run? Like, if someone was attacking me, would you run away? Because you didn't even stand up to your so-called friend who's been backstabbing you for fucking years. To me. Me? It's like, I don't even know him. Why are you talking to me about this? You know, these guys bitch to each other. It's like, I can't understand how the fuck you all associate with each other when it's such a toxic environment. And then I think, why are you all sticking together anyway? It doesn't make sense. I know there's that saying where you keep your enemies close, or your friends close and your enemies closer. I know that, but at the same time, you can just remove them from your life and you will be fine. You won't have to deal with their drama. You won't have to deal with any kind of risk of them backstabbing you. They won't steal your girl because they're not in your fucking vicinity or hers, you know. I mean, you find a good person who has your back. I was willing to have his fucking back. I'm sitting there going, no, I did the dumb shit. I put him on a pedestal. I fucking did. I'm going, I've got a spare room. If he doesn't want to live with his baby mama, I'm sitting there trying to justify this shit. If he doesn't want to live with his baby, could come rent with me, and you'll be cool. And you can, you know, I'm only 30 minutes away from where he works, and you know, it would be good for him, and he can grow his funds and all this shit. I'm going, the more I looked into the personality of him and the way he reacted to me sticking up for myself, tactless or not, I'm sitting there going, this man is not someone I can rely on. He cannot be trusted. He will run away at the first sign of anything. I'm sitting there thinking, how the fuck were you in the army? I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I have a strong feeling either he wasn't in there for long, or he was in a very out of the way. Like, I've seen pictures of him in action and some guy praising him for thanks for your service. I'm sitting there going, what did he actually do there though? Because I don't, the fact that you're running away from me, what are you doing? What? Because at this point, if you're running away from a 5'4" girl in civilian territory over something she said, what the fuck are you gonna be in the action in the trenches? It's like, what? The disconnect. It's like, you've been trained for better and stronger and harder conditions. And here in peace times, civilian area, you're a coward. So I'm sitting there going, what is happening? It's that conflicting ideology. So I'm like, I can't keep you on that pedestal. You broke the pedestal yourself because you showed who you fucking are. So it's just, I lost all faith in that one. After that one, I developed some kind of avoidant attachment. I'm like, I can't find a decent man, and it annoys the shit out of me. And I've been looking at my traits, and I'm sitting there going, well, if I want to find one, shouldn't I highlight what traits I want to find in them? It's like, then I know what I'm looking for, right? I got a game plan, I got a plan, a directive. And I'm sitting going, well, I want him to be honest. I want him to be like me, but with a dick. It's like, which is what guys are like, is I want a girl that's like me, but with tits. I want loyalty, sense of humor, camaraderie, you got my back. You know, it's all these great traits that men could have, these stereotypical manly traits, which none of them seem to be achieving. And they actually choose their friends, other men, over women. And I'm sitting there going, you are emotionally gay. It's like, you might not be physically gay, which is kind of an insult to gay men because they're lovely. But you are emotionally gay. You would rather sign on your emotions and your connections and allegiances to other men and the approval of other men than actually respect any kind of woman who's trying to give not only her life, but her body, her mind and soul. You would rather do that with men than you would with women. You are gay. It's like, you are homosexually minded. Maybe not physically, but you'd rather be with a guy. It's like, and there's a whole, I'm sitting there going, do they just not see it? Are they just too dense? Or are they in a state of denial? Like, this guy is, I will take the position of my ex-boyfriend, who's a rapist, who cheats, who drinks heavily, smokes, does drugs, over the care and consideration for the girl he's done it to, because I don't want to lose face in this group of guys. What the fuck? Your reputation. Now look at this from anyone who's on the outside of this group. Your reputation counts for shit because of who you associate with. Look at girls like me, women like me, I'm 40. I'm looking at this guy, I'm going, I'm looking at your friends, I'm looking at the traits you will tolerate, and I'm saying this fucker is just another one of them. It is hard to get attached to these guys who will not only sometimes participate in, but also enable and cover for people who are doing these horrible things to people, particularly women. And then he gets fucking defensive. And at some point in the text he says, whoa, they're so judgmental, smiley face. I'm like, I'm dead serious, boy. You are fucking up as a man. And you expect me to just laugh it off. I'm going, you are fucking up your life because of who you associate with. And he's not going to like that if he hears it, but you know, you fucking are, dude. How many of these assholes are holding your life back because you want to be one of the cool kids? The cool kids do nothing with their fucking life. The girls get fat and pregnant. The boys do fuck all. They're never in any kind of stable employment because they just want to have fun and drink and go and do drugs. They end up on the dole. He's got a fucking kid to look after if it is his kid. So I'm like, that's incredibly irresponsible that you're living that particular type of lifestyle and not thinking about long term what your kid has to suffer through. You could marry the chick he's got a kid to, but is she a bitch that gets drunk? And you know, it's like, you got to consider the people you're actually involving in your life and where it should go ethically. But do they do it? No, I just want to live in the moment. So these kinds of people are temporary people. They're not looking at the past to adapt to the, you know, fulfill the future. At the moment, I'm looking for someone who does that. It's like, I know I come from a shit background. What can I do now to make sure the shit background never fucking comes back again? Now, my ex-boyfriend's, he's not my ex-boyfriend, but he posed as an ex-boyfriend in order to get money and sex out of me. My ex-boyfriend, terribly afraid of being homeless. I've already been homeless. He's afraid of it. I don't think he understands the trauma of being homeless because he is a man. If you are a woman who is homeless, it is a billion times worse because there are so many more hazards for us than there are for a man. If you're a man, maybe you'll get beaten up. If you're a woman, there's other things. It gets worse. He had no fucking problem not telling me that we were getting evicted. And if I hadn't used my feminine intuition, and women do have it, we often ignore it because you fuckheads and we wanted the, you know, the piece to keep going. If I had ignored it and left it and thought, oh, it's nothing, this gut feeling, it was an uneasiness. Something felt wrong. If I'd ignored it, I would have been homeless for a second time. And he wouldn't have given a fuck because he had already found a place. He'd moved in with his friend Eric. I'm like, you already had a setup to cover your own ass before you even gave a fuck about what would happen to me. These are not the protective men we need. This is not the person who deserves a pedestal. This person deserves the same treatment they dish out. Piece of shit. Piece of shit doesn't give a fuck about anyone else unless he can get something out of them. I pegged that. I blocked him. I moved town so he couldn't follow me because this guy didn't have a car or a license. And I'm like, he can't even find where the fuck I am at this point. For my own physical safety. Are you serious? You're not reversing into that spot? That's a quarter spot. Dude. Anyway, morons with Land Cruisers. But it's like, you've got to look at how they treat others. Don't believe the hype of what they're trying to tell or market themselves as. Most of the fucking shit these people speak are bullshit. It's bullshit. Bullshit designed to get a response. And it's a desired response, which means that you hand something over. It's like salespeople. Salespeople, dude. It's like, I will tell you goddamn anything to make sure that I get access to what I actually want. I don't care what happens to you guys. And that's why I don't fucking chase people. It's not worth it. It is what it is. And that is spoken in true Taurus sense because I am a Taurus. We look at the dirt facts. It is what it is. I don't want to see the gloss. I don't want to see the bullshit. And I am short with my comments. I will not tolerate bullshit. This is probably why the yoga guy won't talk to me now. I'm like, fuck it. I'm more man than you are, apparently. I did not candy my words. I did not tactfully do the giggling girl thing and say, oh, it's okay that he raped me and you're fine with it. I did not. I straight up said, you did it, you enabled this, you encouraged this sort of shit. I'm like, I don't believe this shit. Don't come to me. I did not candify it or excuse it. I put it right in their fucking face and said, this happened. You did this. And of course, that's abrasive to some people who are fucking cowards. They just want to be socially accepted. But if you don't look at the fucking problem, you're not going to fucking fix it, are you? I don't candify shit. If you don't like reality and the truth, don't fucking do it. I'm not gonna, they live in this world where everything is external validation and I need approval and I need you to see things as I see them. Otherwise, I'm gonna have a crisis and no resilience and just mental breakdown. I'm sitting there thinking, we don't always get to choose how reality eventuates. You need to be able to look at the real shit and possibly not overreact. I did overreact a little bit because I was fucking angry, but I got a fucking temper. I could have gone worse. I was holding that in because I had to get to work. But the cowards, they won't look at the fucking problem in order to fix it. So it's like, what do you do with that? Bunch of chicken shits that are afraid of anything going wrong, so they only want to see the positivity in life. I'm going, look at the blood and guts of the situation. Get the fuck over yourself and the lies you want to believe in order that you feel fucking safe, because life is never going to actually be fucking safe. Not a whole percent. And, fucking man up, dude. What the fuck? It's like, 5'4" girl should not be more masculine than you fuckers. I'm little, dude. I'm skinny fat at this point. All my muscles gone. It's like I should not be stronger than you. It's insane. But we put them on these pedestals because we want to believe the illusion that they might be what we think they could be. We want to see the potential and hopefully it'll work and it'll come together and you can live up to the expectations of what I hold for you. Not that I expect you to fucking do things because I'm me and I'm going to try and control you, but I'm looking at the hopeful situation which in my head I've created that you could be and you might live up to because I think the best of you. And instead you meet their actual fucking personality and the behavioral traits and the associations and their lifestyle choices and you sit there and think, you are a fucking waste of my space. And then they ghost and you're like, you know what, fucking stay away. At this point, I'm on board. I've given up with the seeking approval of others. I've just gone with their decisions and said, you're right. It's like, I'm never going, like when my ex-boyfriend said, I could never live with you. You're a nightmare. I'm going, okay. And the next time you're facing eviction or rent increase, or you're sick of your friend who you moved in with, or your girlfriend kicks you out because you're an asshole, I'm going to hold that to him. I'm going to say, no, you can never live with me. I'm a nightmare. You're right. Absolutely. Let's go with your fucking plan. Same as with the yoga guy. He's ghosted me and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, fuck it. Go for it. Let's go with your plan. Ghosting? All right. Bye. Because you've got to accept some things are just as they are. I shouldn't be chasing people just to gain their approval. I don't have anxious attachment at this point because of the amount of fucked up life experiences I've had. If you've listened to the other podcasts, you'll know how much shit I've gone through. And I'm only 40. I've still got at least another 40 years to go. It's going to get fucking weird. But they want you to chase them. It's an ego battle where they get approval through someone else validating their decisions. Now, if you've acted in a disgusting way, to be honest, and a very insulting way by, say, sending a what you doing text and expected a woman to come running because we're only objects for men's enjoyment, and, you know, I should drop all my plans, risk my life and safety to go out into the darkness and make you happy because you're you. That's incredibly insulting on multiple levels. If you expect that to just occur because you're you, you're going to have to really face the blood and guts of the situation. Is you're not going to get a good one. Anyone who turns up is usually going to be low value because they don't value themselves or their safety enough, and they will run out and do that. I'm sitting there going, yeah, this person will settle for fucking anything just to say they have someone. Whoever turned up probably was that. I'm hoping it was male at least, because then, you know, at least not a rape threat. But that's the thing, it's like you've got to stop allowing people to lower your value because you're willing to meet them in some fucking ridiculous circumstances to get their approval. I've heard of people stalking people's profile. I've got people stalking my profile. I don't know why. It's like once they're gone, they're gone. Why chase down anything? I don't look at anyone's profile. I'm sitting there going, I'm too busy either posting my own shit or living. Get a life, you know? It's like, I gotta stalk my ex to make sure she's not doing better than me. I'm going, I don't give a fuck if any of you fuckers live or die. You're an ex for a reason, dude. It's like, I generally keep like a neutral tone with people. But if it's got to the point where you've gone into the negative and you've done fucked up things, it's like, at this point, I don't, you shouldn't exist at this point. I'm going, I don't care. I've blocked you. I'm installing, or I'm encouraging the object impermanence side of things. If I've broken up with you or you have pissed me off to the extent where I have to block you, like any one of the girls from the social group that I tried to be nice to, you don't fucking exist, okay? You just don't. I don't stalk your profile. I don't look for how you're going. I'm checking what you're doing. It seems like a waste of time and effort. It's like, clearly this was not a match, or this was not someone I can rely on, or, you know, why saturate yourself in it? Why keep reliving shit that's just horrible? It's like, I already have enough fucking memories in my head that are fucked up that I don't want to remember, that I can't forget. That, you know, why would I want to relive that shit voluntarily and try to justify any kind of connection with assholes? It's like, you fuck ups. When you guys get used to the idea that you're fuck ups and fix your shit, maybe we can be friends. Until then, fuck off. At this point, like, until that yoga guy's behavior changes and he shows me that he is any kind of masculine that is not a fuckboy, that is aged out of the profession, I don't want to fucking know, dude. It's sad with age. Bob was a fuckboy and he died at like 70 or 80 something. My granddad Bob, he died alone with his dick out on tiles, and his grandkids had to find him. Do you know how humiliating that would be? I'm going, you just got no idea how fucking stupid it is when they do these traits. So yeah, if you're living that lifestyle, how do I put this gently? Repent while you're ahead. I'm not talking about some kind of Christian kind of way. I'm talking in general. Repent when you're ahead, because it's not going to get better from here. It will all go downhill. And that goes for fuck girls too, because there are girls that pull the same shit. Prosecco bitches, I call them. Prosecco, just want to have fun. There's no consequences. unwanted pregnancies and being stuck with a guy that you don't like. Definitely no pregnancy problems there. No consequences. Don't think ahead. Why would you? Dumb bitches. I can't stand dumb bitches. You were given a brain. All of us were given a fantastic brain to use, and you fucking ignore it, and it gives me the shits. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that there. So, moral of the story is, don't chase people if they've shown you that they are not worth knowing by their conduct, by their language, by who they associate with. Don't bother chasing them. Don't bother stalking their profile. Don't bother trying to send olive leaves, because I did, and he ignored them. And I'm like, you know what? You're on your fucking own. I tried to be nice. I was too nice again. Because sometimes when we're trying to be nice to these people, it's showing a form of weakness. Not that being nice is weak, but being nice to the wrong ones who don't value kindness or niceness is a weakness to them, because they will use it against you. So you've got to be mindful of who you actually try to make amends with. So no chasing people. Stand your ground if you need to. Uphold your own moral values first. Don't compromise them in order to fit into with a group, because ultimately it's that group. If it's a shit group, it will drag you down too. And then you'll be stuck at the end when you've been kicked out or ostracized, or it's just gone tits up and half of them in prison. And you'll be wondering why you stuck around for these fucking assholes. Because your allegiances at that point don't count for shit, because they've just undermined any growth or progress you've made. So with that in mind, I'm going to leave it there, because I've got to go do a bunch of errands. I'm going to try and do another podcast on the way back. I don't remember what the topic was, but I wrote it down. Take it easy. It's Monday, so if you're like me and you've managed to get a day off, I hope you have a fantastic Monday and a day off. I suggest having a nap. My dog won't let me nap, which is infuriating, but you know, take it easy, and hopefully I can do another one later.